never give in. You're gonna win, gonna rise again. No matter what they say, no matter what.
Did a bodyguard just reveal the true side of Park Jimin behind the dazzling stage lights? Is his kindness to ARMY just an image carefully built? Or does this shocking testimony prove that his heart is far more genuine than anyone could imagine? And why does this revelation leave fans in tears, questioning how well they truly know him? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss another emotional twist, hidden clue, or breathtaking secret about Jimin and BTS. Share your thoughts below. Could this revelation change the way we see him forever? Have we ever truly known Park Jimin? Or have we only been allowed glimpses of the superstar under blinding stage lights, hiding his truest self in moments when no cameras were watching? That question is now shaking ARMY around the world after a stunning confession from someone who has been closer to Jimin than most people could ever dream of. His bodyguard, the man whose duty was to walk silently behind him, shield him from danger, and vanish into the background, has finally broken his silence. And his words are nothing short of breathtaking. Jimin treats his guards not as workers, but as family. He never forgets to care for us. He is one of the kindest souls I've ever met. What does it mean when someone who has witnessed the most vulnerable, unfiltered sides of a global superstar speaks with such emotion? Suddenly, all the polished images and rehearsed interviews fall away, leaving a portrait of Jimin more real, more fragile, and more radiant than fans had ever imagined. Could it be that the secret to his extraordinary bond with ARMY lies not in the words he speaks on stage, but in the quiet, hidden acts of kindness that even those in the shadows feel deeply? The bodyguard's testimony unfolds like a hidden diary of untold moments. He recalls Jimin quietly making sure that his staff had eaten during grueling world tour, slipping gentle jokes in tense situations to ease the weight of chaotic crowds, and, in one unforgettable incident, stopping in the middle of a dangerous fan surge, turning not to check his own safety but to ask his guard, "Are you okay?" What kind of superstar does that? What kind of man risks slowing down in the midst of chaos, simply to make sure the people protecting him are safe? And the most shocking question of all, if Jimin can treat his protectors with such warmth and humanity, what does this say about his love for ARMY? His words over the years, "ARMY is my reason, ARMY is my strength," suddenly take on a deeper weight. They are not just phrases spoken under stage lights. They are truths confirmed by those who have seen him behind the curtain, away from microphones and cameras. This bodyguard has unknowingly revealed what many fans have long suspected. Jimin doesn't just say he loves ARMY, he lives it. Perhaps the signs were always there, hidden in fleeting moments. In the way Jimin's eyes soften when he listens to a fan's story. In the quiet apologies he offers when he feels he's not giving enough. In the nights when he stays awake writing letters, knowing that somewhere out there ARMY is awake too, holding on to his every word. The confession of the guard doesn't just add another piece to the puzzle. It paints the missing picture that ARMY has always been searching for, the truth of Jimin's endless compassion. And yet, this revelation raises even more suspenseful questions. How many other untold stories are still waiting to surface? How many times has Jimin silently chosen to put others first, when no spotlight was there to catch him? Could it be that the man the world calls a superstar is, in his essence, simply someone who cannot help but love too much, give too much, care too much? The emotional impact of this story rippled instantly across ARMY communities. Fans wept as they realized their love for him was not one-sided. They remembered all the times Jimin whispered "thank you" on stage with tears in his eyes. They recalled the moments he clutched his chest, overwhelmed, when chants of his name filled arenas. And now, with this testimony, they understood. Every look, every tear, every trembling word was real. So who is Park Jimin, really? Is he the flawless performer who glides across stages in Dior suits and dazzling jewelry? Or is he the quiet young man who bows deeply to staff, checks on the well-being of his bodyguards, and whispers "I hope ARMY is eating well" into the silence of a live stream? The bodyguard's words do not simply answer this question, they ignite it. And here is the cliffhanger ARMY cannot stop asking. If this is the truth the bodyguard dares to reveal, then what more remains untold? What moments of raw, unfiltered kindness have yet to surface? Will there come a day when Jimin himself speaks, confirming everything we've only guessed, and leaving us even more undone by the depth of his heart? Now, it is your turn to answer. After hearing this, do you believe we finally know the real Jimin? Or do you feel, like many ARMY, that we've only begun to scratch the surface of a man whose love and kindness may be deeper than we will ever fully understand? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Your voice is part of the story too. The bodyguard's revelation was not just a passing comment. It was a confession that carried the weight of years spent in silence. Imagine the life of a man whose job is to stand in the shadows, always alert, always invisible, tasked with protecting someone adored by millions. He had no reason to speak, no stage to step on, no audience to impress. And yet, when he finally chose to break his silence, the words he gave were drenched in sincerity. He never forgets that we are human. He never lets us feel small. Jimin always thanks us not once, not twice, but every single day. These words pierced the hearts of ARMY like arrows of truth. For how many times had fans wondered if idols, with their hectic schedules and dizzying fame, could still see the people around them? How many times had they questioned if the image of kindness, projected under the spotlight, was genuine or rehearsed? But here, from the lips of someone who lived in the margins of Jimin's world, the answer rang out with thunderous clarity. It was all real. The bodyguard shared stories that ARMY could hardly believe. He described one winter night during a world tour when freezing winds howled outside the venue. The staff, exhausted, carried heavy equipment in silence. And then there was Jimin, not in his glittering stage clothes, but in a simple hoodie and mask, slipping into the cold to hand out hot drinks to the team. No cameras, no reporters, no orchestrated PR stunt, just Jimin, quietly making sure the people who worked until their bodies ached had something warm in their hands. I wanted them to feel cared for, he reportedly said. And in that single sentence, ARMY could almost hear his soft voice echo in their hearts. But perhaps the most breathtaking memory the guard shared was one of danger. In the chaos of an uncontrolled crowd, fans surged forward with such force that even the strongest security struggled to keep balance. The natural instinct of any star would be to run, to shield themselves, to let the guards take the blow. Yet Jimin did something unthinkable. He turned back. He locked eyes with his bodyguard, whose arms strained against the pressure of the crowd, and asked with a trembling voice, "Are you okay?" The guard admitted later that he nearly broke down in that moment, because who, in the middle of chaos, would think of him first? Only someone whose heart beats not for status, not for self-preservation, but for people. These fragments of truth sent shockwaves through ARMY fans across the globe began piecing together hidden clues from years past. They recalled how Jimin would often look backstage during concerts, nodding or smiling at staff before returning his focus to the roaring audience. They remembered the small moments captured on phancoms, Jimin adjusting the microphone for a member, picking up something another had dropped, bowing deeply to crew members even when the cameras weren't aimed at him. Suddenly, the puzzle pieces aligned. The hidden gestures were not coincidences. They were reflections of the same soul the bodyguard described. And what about ARMY? How do they fit into this puzzle? The more the guard spoke, the clearer the connection became. If Jimin could treat those in the shadows with such gentleness, what more for the fans he has repeatedly called his lifeline? His love for ARMY was no mere performance. It was the essence of who he was. When he whispered, "I miss you" into empty hotel rooms during lives. When he bowed with tears streaming after concerts. When he promised, "I will stay by your side as long as I can." These were not empty words. They were promises rooted in the same kindness his guard had witnessed firsthand. Yet, the guard's voice trembled most when he recalled Jimin's vulnerability. He worries too much for others, he admitted. Even when he is tired, even when his body aches, he always asks about us first. I often wonder, who asks about him? That single question left ARMY shaken. How many times had Jimin hidden his pain behind a smile, so no one else would feel burdened? How many times had he swallowed his exhaustion so that others could rest easy? Suddenly, fans realized that the man who gave so much light might often sit in the dark alone,